Hello and welcome back to the third episode of the GK Union podcast. And you will have noticed if you're watching this live, which is the only way to enjoy it, so you would be watching it. There's somebody new here. You.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Welcome, you. So we are joined by Ryan. Rob and I got disheartened by the fact that the regular hosts are not as committed as we are and can be fucked to turn up. I think the words they used were busy and away. I interpreted that as couldn't be fucked. So we got somebody else in, another goalkeeper. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you enjoying the World Cup?
Yeah, struggling with the late games. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling with the late games, trying to stay awake, but it's been a decent tournament so far. Yeah,
it's been all right. Well, you can fulfill the role of Harry, who has boasted about the lack of games that he's seen. I believe he's probably watched England.
I think he's on to one.
He's always watched a whole game.
Yeah,
how many have you watched?
2.
About 2. Yeah,
brilliant.
Myself too.
Brilliant. So yeah, we've got like a full spectrum here, really, both in terms of the spectrum and the games watched spectrum. So round 3 is where we're at.
Yeah.
And what a round it's been. The quality's not dipped.
No, it's only getting better. There's more on the line, isn't there? So
yeah, I was unsure what to expect going into the final round of fixtures. We all got what we wanted in that Scotland went out, so that's nice.
So good.
It's
so good.
It is good.
Do we not like the home countries?
No, I like
they're not a home country.
I like the home country.
Okay, fair enough.
The ones sort of
we are
clinging on.
Country.
Yeah,
I'll be a Scotland pioneer, so that's fine.
You take that shot off. I was glad when that happened. I thought that was quite funny. I was a little bit surprised though that Steve Clarke decided that it's time to. Well, I'm assuming it was him that decided it was time to go and not the Scotland FA. Seemed a little strange because they seem to be on an upward trajectory with him. I felt that was a little bit of a hasty change, but
he's just disappointed, isn't he?
Yeah, most probably. He's just done what all blokes do when it all goes a bit wrong, and they've just thrown toys out of the pram, decided they don't want to see any of the cunts anymore, and he's like, "That's it, I'm not doing it. You're on your own. You're wasting my fucking time."
But was it a disappointment?
I wouldn't say so. I think he's been a bit harsh on himself. Had Brazil and Morocco in their team. I know they nearly got beaten by Haiti, but they're still a pretty tough group.
And to be fair, when you look at looking at that group in particular, when you look at the results, obviously yes, they got turned over by Brazil, which you'd absolutely expect. They beat Haiti in what was a tough game, and at the time I looked at that and went, "That's not a great sign for Scotland that they struggled against Haiti." But actually, if you look at Haiti's other fixtures, their game against Morocco, arguably one of the games of round 3, Morocco seemingly don't understand what it is to lose a game of football and just refuse to give up. But Haiti gave an unbelievable account of themselves in that fixture. And for me, that highlighted the fact that actually the fact that Scotland kept a clean sheet in that one and beaten 1-0 was actually a very good result, because they're not sort of perhaps the whipping boys of the group that everyone was expecting. And whilst we're talking about it, arguably, definitely one of the goals of the round, if not up there for one of the goals of the tournament, their second goal was an absolute cracker. Now, Ryan, I know you've seen this game, so would you like to talk us through that? For anyone, for everyone, because you weren't here before we went on air, because that would be weird. He hasn't seen this game, so he has no concept of how good a goal it was. Basically, he hit it from outside the box, and it was just an arrow into the top corner. And it wasn't like what the goals that we've seen that we spoke about, where you can go, was it the ball? Did the keepers finding it difficult? It was just a fucking rocket, top corner, unbelievable, absolute limbs, and they deserved a point just for that.
Did anyone say the keeper could have done better?
Not with that one.
Not with that one. Fine.
But there have been a few, and it was on my notes.
Not again.
It was on my notes. The difference between having Brad Friedel on commentary and Danny Murphy on commentary with regards to goalkeepers saving penalties highlighted how important it is to have goalkeepers giving a voice. Brad Friedel's doing commentary, penalty gets saved, and instantly he's like, as a goalkeeper, every penalty save is a good save. And I was like, 100% correct. Even if it's not the best struck penalty, with the exception of when people fuck up like a Panenka and you look like a twat. If you've tried to pick a side and you've hit it relatively hard, I hate the narrative. It's at a good height for the keeper, because the keeper is hugely disadvantaged. You've got to keep your 1 foot on the line. You can't preempt too heavily. You can't move too much. The striker knows where they're going. They can stutter. They can stop. They can fucking get their dick out if they want to. They can do whatever they want. But the goalkeeper's got to be like dead still, can't move. If you so much as think about blinking, it's a retake. And it was really refreshing that you've got a goalkeeper in commentary and they go, "That's a great save." And then literally like 2 games later, keeper makes another saves another penalty, and Danny Murphy's on commentary, and he's just typical. I've never played in goal before. Goes, "Oh well, it was an easy height for the keeper. That it was a poor pen." And I was like, "This is why I hate people that haven't played in goal. Like they look at great goalkeeping and they go, "Oh, yeah, but he should be saving that."
Yeah, it's just an easy get out, isn't it?
It is, and I think Roy Keane's obviously contributed to that attitude because of his famous "it's his job" comment. It's like every pundit is trying to be like Roy Keane now, and anytime a goalkeeper does something genuinely amazing, that instantly they're like, "Well, it's what he's there for." Like, it's routine for him. Like, evidently, you've never done something that you had no physical control over, and it just happened completely naturally and organically, and everybody, including yourself, went, "Wow, how do you do that?" And yeah, I think for me, anytime there's a penalty and a keeper saves it, I think we should have a rule: commentators aren't allowed to criticise the quality of the penalty unless it is actually shit,
and maybe give him a bit of praise.
Yeah,
why not?
Absolutely. There is. I'm trying to remember what game it was. I was watching it this morning, and the keeper made a ridiculous. It might have been the Argentina game actually, and the keeper did make a ridiculous save, and it took a deflection, and he like adjusts, makes an absolutely insane save, and the commentary was so underwhelmed by what was an unbelievable save to the point where they genuinely used the phrase like, "It took a slight deflection, which would have made it a little bit more difficult." I'm like, it was a ridiculous save. Absolutely insane, and they're just like, "Yeah, it's all right." And yet somebody goes and like dribbles it in, bottom centre bins, and they're like, "What a great goal! Let's all get our dicks out and have a wank over how good that was." And you're like, "Oh, it's a tap in."
Wow. Do you think that's an English commentary thing though? Because when you go abroad, when you listen to like commentaries in abroad,
I mean, if you listen to South American commentary, it does actually sound like they've got their dicks out having a wank. To be honest with you, if you've ever heard any commentary to do with any Messi goal, it's like the record is skipped. Messi, 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 goal! And it just goes on for 20 minutes, and you're like, fuck. Like, they need hydration breaks.
Yeah.
Not for the players, for the commentary team, just to get their breath back. It's mental. But maybe it is an English.
I think it is.
An English
I think we're very critical, but we just moan about everything. Like we're all of us are British here, and we all moan about everything that always happens, no matter what. So
this is true. This is true. Things I really want to talk about with regards to the third round of fixtures, given that it's the GK Union podcast, probably one of the most iconic World Cup goalkeepers of our generation, Ochoa, got his little moment at home in the Azteca. FIFA also let him wear the legacy patch, which they denied him having on his shirt for the first 2 games, because although it's his 6th World Cup, he didn't make appearances at 2 of them. So they were like, "Oh, it doesn't count." But they let him have it for his final game. He got to say farewell, give the goalpost a little kiss at the end of the game, and I thought it was a really, really fitting moment. But it's for me, it's a bit of a sad one, because I always look forward to the World Cups, because for as long as I can remember, you can always count on Ochoa making unreal saves. Like, that was part of the magic of the World Cup, is you get to see Brazil in all their flair. You get to see Ochoa making ridiculous saves, and England fans losing their shit for 3 or 4 rounds and then being disappointed.
You do sound disappointed. Are you one of those England fans?
Well, given that we haven't won the World Cup in my lifetime, yes, I am 100% one of the fans that have been disappointed. Yet. It could be this year.
It is coming home.
Hopefully.
It's not. I actually don't think it will.
It's a difficult one. I think we've done everything we needed to. We obviously topped the group, got out of the group. I'm not sure. We were talking about this just before you turned up because you were late. off air that I don't know what side of the draw was a better side to be on, because we've avoided Spain and France and Portugal, but we're literally on a collision course with Brazil, then Argentina, potentially. And I don't know, in a World Cup, we were obviously talking about, in a World Cup that's being played in high temperatures, do you really want to be coming up against two of the best South American teams who are going to be a lot more accustomed to those conditions? I don't know. Discuss.
I think I would. In fact, you have to tell us to discuss like a class.
Show you working out.
I think Brazil's probably the better option, actually. I'd rather play Brazil. They're very shaky. I know they kind of come into it the last couple of games, but who did they beat? 3-0, Haiti?
Scotland.
Kind of winnable game. Scotland as well. They're not really difficult games, and then they lost to Morocco or drew. It was so long ago, so many games. But either way, they're not special. They're not the Brazil of old.
They're not. But we obviously spoke about on the last episode Germany and the fact that they're not a traditional German team. They don't have that sort of machine-like quality to them where they're just sort of they seem unbeatable. But there's an element of that in Brazil, I think, under Ancelotti at the moment, where I feel like actually that whilst they may not be what we're used to seeing from a Brazilian team, they have that same feeling that you used to get with Real Madrid in the Champions League under Ancelotti, where it's kind of like, it doesn't matter how well they're playing, you just feel like they're just going to find a way and an extra gear. And I'll be interested to see whether they replicate what we saw obviously so many times in the Champions League under Ancelotti, where they look poor and then they get to like quarterfinal, semi-final and final, and suddenly they're like unbelievable. I'd be interested to see if the same thing happens with Brazil. Hopefully not from an England perspective. We would like them to still be a bit dog shit and maybe not even be in the tournament by the time we would theoretically meet them. But I would be intrigued to see what happens there, because there is a bit of a feel of the ominous about Brazil in that they're just getting results without being too fancy.
Yeah, but then we're the same, aren't we? This is what I think they're the South American versions of us.
True, just with a few more World Cups.
Yeah, just a few more,
and offering up a few less chances to shitty teams like we did with Panama. That I mean, a better side could have.
This is what I mean. I don't think it's not a lot of hope going forward, because although we really did well against Croatia, we start really slow in the first half every time. Like, we're always really slow, and we're always so open. And you play a team like France, Spain, Argentina, we're going to get dicked.
But then we've spoken about this before. Yeah. We spoke about it off air. The only thing I take a bit more comfort from is the fact that we've looked most vulnerable in our group against the two teams that sit in a low block and try and transition. When we come up against the likes of Brazil, Argentina, obviously in the final, it could be France, it could be Spain, it could be Portugal. They're not going to be teams that are going to sit in a low block that we've got to try and break down, that players like O'Reilly are going to be popping up on the right wing and leaving massive holes for people to run through. We're going to be the team probably sat a little bit more in a low block, looking to hit them on the counter. And that's where we got so much joy at times against Croatia, was when they were trying to press onto us and we were like, we just bypassed their press with ease and we're getting in, for fun in the second half especially. So part of me feels probably naively optimistic that when we come up against good teams, we might actually look a lot better.
With that being said, though, would you not think teams might have worked us out? You know, they'll come, sit a bit deep.
Well, all they got to do is just really press us in the first half. We're screwed. Defensively, we are poor. And that's the problem with the squad that he's picked, is that we've got so much diversity with all our defenders can play everywhere, but they're like a jack of all trades but master of none.
Yeah.
And what they're meant to be there to do is defend, and the way we want to play is not to defend, and then we're shit at defending. Hence why Croatia were able to get 2 goals against us. Yeah, we were really good in the second half attack, but both second halves were better in every game, and we were shit in the first.
Yeah, we definitely need to find a way to start a bit quicker. That's for sure.
And another defender's injured.
Yeah. Luckily not one that was playing particularly well, which is probably something, but it does mean that
10 minutes.
I've had 10 minutes.
He's lasted longer than me.
It does mean that we're likely to rely on Jed Spence again, which
he's all right when he came on at right back, to be fair.
I feel like he looked better at right back in the 2 appearances at right back. Left back he looked fucking horrendous. absolutely terrible. But then we also know my views on Nico O'Reilly at left back. I'm in camp. Play Dan Burn at left back. Go for a fucking fullback that can actually defend, and he'll be a threat from set
That's not
pieces.
how they want to play.
I know it's not how they want to
So
play,
they
but
won't play him.
they've taken him. Fucking play him at left back because he's actually good there. Whereas O'Reilly wants to play as a fucking right winger, and he'll try and do that from left back.
Right winger from left back.
100%. Did you not see him? Did you not see him in the Panama game? There was genuinely a moment where he was starting to close down a player on the edge of their 18-yard box in the right wing channel, to the point where Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson were having to fill in respectively in midfield and left back because he was literally on the right wing, and then he just jogged back. I'm like,
It's called a sacrificial run.
no, it's not. It's called fucking stupid. It's called absolutely retarded, is what it's called. And I think you can use that word.
Maybe you have to bleep.
Yeah. No, we'll keep it in. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's one of them.
It's one of them. It's French for slow, late. It's French for late. He was late getting back, so I stand by it.
I'll help you dig your trench if you want.
Yeah, happy days. Anyway, yeah. So one of the things I do want to talk about is Messi. Unbelievable. I don't know how he does it. He didn't even start their third game, comes off the bench, scores an absolute worldie of a free kick, and you're like, is there anything he can't do?
And makes it look easy.
It makes it look stupidly easy. And I think what made it worse is they'd already scored an insane free kick from Lo Celso, and you kind of go, oh, well, even if Messi doesn't play, there's somebody who's got a bit of flair. And then they bring him on with 10 minutes to go, and he's like, that was good, but watch this.
Yeah.
Like, actually mental. There was also a goal, can't remember what game it was in now, which was a ridiculous goal from miles out. And at first, when I was making my little notes, I was like, goalkeeper error. And then I watched it back, and I was overly critical. It was not goalkeeper error. But it raises a point, because even the commentary said initially question marks over the goalkeeper, and it's a low shot on the angle. It's gone through two pairs of legs, keeper's full stretch, and it's literally nestled in the bottom corner. It was like a rocket. And I feel like it's a good opportunity for us as goalkeepers to highlight the fact that it is so fucking difficult when a ball is travelling at pace and it goes through players' legs to be able to react, because you're either having to preempt and you're having to just throw yourself roughly where you think it's going to go, which leaves you running the risk of looking fucking stupid.
That's what you definitely shouldn't do.
Yeah, or you're having to wait until you get a sight of it and just hope that you can react in time. And it's really fucking horrible. But it was a great goal. Question to you boys is, from a goalkeeping perspective, what is the thing that you hate the most in terms of shots that you faced? Is it the ones that come through bodies? Is it the deflections? What are the things that you really hate that commentators tend to just assume is like, we should all be fine with?
Long shots for me. Don't know about you boys.
As in, like, too much time to think about it.
Exactly that. You know, it's swerving. You got to lock on with the ball. You could be moving 3 different places in the space of half a second.
Yeah.
And then it goes in from 40 yards and everyone's looking
you.
at the keeper. You know,
Yeah.
It's inexcusable.
You've almost got too much time to watch it that you almost forget to to deal with it, so to speak. My big one is people ducking out the fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, it does my head in when somebody's having a shot and you've got a defender that could close down, and they just move out the way as if to be like, you can get that. And it's like, well, yeah, if you weren't fucking in the way, maybe I would have done, but can you just take it to the fucking bollocks instead and like do us all a favour instead of leaving me completely stranded because I can't see it until it's here? Like, that really fucks me off. What about you?
You got a really good emotion change.
I know.
It's not about shots, it's just corners. I hate corners.
What about them? Like having to...
I hate in-swinging corners.
Yeah.
I have nightmare. Now I've stopped playing for the time being. Yeah. I get better sleep knowing that I don't have to face an in-swinging corner on a windy, rainy day with some big cunt at the back charging forward and about to knock me over, even though I have no idea he's up my arse.
Yeah, that's fair. I am also not a fan, which will surprise people because obviously I identify as 6'6". So for a lot of people, they
Well,
think
did you say 6'6"?
I identify as 6'6". Yeah,
You're not far off it, though, right?
corner to corner, I'm probably bigger than that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, if people can identify as whatever they want these days, I'm going to identify as tall. You can't tell me otherwise.
We believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
I can definitely tell you, you're not.
No, I am. That's what I identify as. So
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you're not.
yeah. But society has told us that you've got to embrace it and you've got to accept me for what I think I am, despite the fact that it's clearly a mental health issue.
But I don't want to.
All right, that's your prerogative.
Good.
Anyway, back to the point. Me personally, I feel like defenders have this really irritating cop out with any balls into the box. That the perception is, well, it's your 18-yard box as a goalkeeper, so you should command it. You should come and claim everything. It's their job to defend as well. And I'm like, if you can get a head on the ball, why should I have to travel 12, 13 yards to come and claim a cross that you could just get your head on and just deal with it? And then I'll make my decision based on what happens if you miss your fucking header. Why do I have to do all the hard
Cliche
work?
lines of, you should have been further off your line.
Yeah. Well, no, just win the header.
Should have been reading the play better. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Sounds proactive.
Yeah. Just win your fucking header. How about that? And let's be honest, they practice fucking headers in the warm up before every game. So fucking put your practice into fucking play, mate.
It's worse when they duck.
Oh,
Like you were saying, they
yeah.
duck on the near posts.
Yeah,
And
duck
they
under it.
Oh yeah, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does
And
really
then he
fuck me
turns
up.
around and stands like that.
I mean, when the people on the back post don't jump when it goes to them from someone headering it, that's another thing that annoys me. Is look, what does it go over? It's
Yeah.
always usually the shortest people on the team though that are on
Yeah.
the post. I've noticed.
Maybe they are jumping.
Who knows? No comment. But yeah,
They're not
that's
short to you.
Huh?
They're not short to you.
not to me. No, I look up to a lot of these players. Unfortunately, like, literally, physically. But yeah. So anyway, back to the World Cup. Back to the matters at hand. As we expected, there weren't too many shocks or upsets with the third round of fixtures. I think it kind of went roughly to what we'd expect and to form.
I disagree.
With the exception being, I did not see a Germany defeat.
There we go.
I did not see a
Great
Germany
Martin Clark
defeat.
segue.
But based on what we spoke about before with the Ivory Coast game, I wasn't as much. I didn't expect it. I also wasn't shocked
I wasn't
that they
surprised
lost that
at
game.
all. They're not. Yeah, they're not the Germany of old, and so you wouldn't be surprised. And they really celebrated that victory, Ecuador. Like, they've got a national holiday out of it after the fact they had a really poor start.
Yeah, they did. They fucking loved it, didn't they? To be fair, and fair play to them. Fair play to them. But there was a lot of very exciting matches in round 3 as well. Even the Portugal game that finished 0-0, probably one of the best 0-0s I've ever seen. Like, literally ridiculous. And it was the Portugal game with the save that the keeper made that took a deflection. And on commentary, they were like, should be saving that anyway. I'm like, who the fuck gave you an opinion?
If it's not Joe Hart, we don't care.
Exactly. I think he should be doing commentary on every single game. Him and Brad Friedel, voice for the keepers. I was going to make a really good point, and then you reminded me that Joe Hart is an exceptional pundit and analyst, and I lost my train of thought. So chat amongst yourselves for a moment until that comes back.
Oh, did anybody see the quote from Ronaldo saying he's back?
I did.
I followed this up with a goalless game.
Yeah, but again, it comes back to what we were saying before. Again, when you watch the game, in the match where he scores 2 goals, they put in an awful lot of balls into the box. We spoke about this earlier as well. When you've got players like Kane or Lukaku or Ronaldo that are out and out number 9s, who are traditional now Fox in the box type players, you've got to be putting their service into those areas where they're going to be most effective. There's very little point in trying to play lots of intricate passing around the 18-yard box, waiting for something to open up or for someone to have a shot from range, because one thing we know from Ronaldo's perspective, which is probably a little bit of a negative in a way, is that because his mindset is so set on being effective, he will take himself out of out of the 18-yard box to try and get onto the ball to make things happen if the build-up play is a bit too slow, which then upsets things massively. You end up in a position where you're, as we said before, you're kind of just flogging a dead horse. You've got a wasted a wasted formation, a wasted player in the team. But I think the 0-0 again highlighted the fact that it was a bit more of a transitional game. Each team seemed to just be counter-attacking each other, and that doesn't lend itself perfectly to an out-and-out number 9 that wants service into the box. But
he just bugs me a lot because he's just annoying as hell. He almost just does it to himself. It's like just that quote. It was just like, yeah, come laugh at me. And because usually because Messi's scoring every game. I know they're playing to his advantages, but he's kind of going out there and making things happen and doing the business. But he's not saying anything and just cracking on with it. Ronaldo, however, scores 2 goals against Uzbekistan of all teams, and then says he's back, scoring 2 goals against Uzbekistan, and then following that with
that being said, though, credit to Uzbekistan, because in their round 3 fixture, they got a cracking game out of that. It was I think that was another 2-2. I think it finished, and that was an exceptional match. So whilst Portugal did make them look bang average, and Ronaldo scored twice and give it the big one afterwards, again, hindsight's quite a wonderful thing in that the next game for Uzbekistan showed that they are actually they're a decent side, and they're a dangerous side. So I think fair play. Also, out of the two, Messi is very much universally loved by the media, by pundits. So even if he hadn't scored yet at the World Cup, I think it would be being billed in terms of like building the anticipation that he's going to come to the party at some point. Whereas it's almost the opposite from Ronaldo's perspective. If he doesn't score, it's almost like the media like to take shots at him from that perspective. So I kind of get his reaction a little bit, because there was
with like Messi, you always actually know he's going to do something in a game. Like Messi's there, he's going to do something. Whereas Ronaldo, he could go a whole tournament and do nothing. And that's why I just think Messi's on a different level, especially now. Back way then, they were very similar, but I think Messi's always been technically more gifted and can just sway games, whereas Ronaldo just sulks, cries, and
I think the last time
misses free kicks all the time.
Yeah, and I think the last time from a Portugal perspective that they genuinely could count on Ronaldo in the same way as Argentina can count on Messi to deliver was obviously when they won the Euros. That tournament, he single-handedly dragged them to the final. Obviously, when he went off injured, it was kind of quite fitting in that moment that the team kind of stepped up and were like, actually, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Like even their qualification to that tournament was left at the very last minute, and it was Ronaldo that scored the goals and stuff. So it's like that was very much his tournament in a very similar way as the last World Cup was very much like Messi's tournament. I think the difference is obviously, again, part of it is going to be an age thing, where Messi is a little bit younger. There's still a lot that Argentina can extract out of Messi, and it's not like a selfish reliance from that perspective, in the same way that when Ronaldo dragged them through, it was very much like he was just doing everything himself. Whereas even when Messi's really effective, you still feel like there's not quite this level of selfishness to it.
Yeah.
It's still.
So this point you're making about Messi, like Argentina playing through Messi, is it not really the other way around though? Like Messi kind of creates things for the team rather than the team creating things for Messi.
He's very adaptable though, isn't he?
I was thinking about this the other day because obviously with Ronaldo, he's a very kind of dare I say it, one-trick pony. Whereas
He is now
Messi,
one-dimensional.
Yeah, he's now one-dimensional. So the team have to play through him to get the best out of him. Whereas actually, you chuck Messi on the field and you can do whatever game plan you'd want. If you play through him, he will then give him the ball. He will create. So it kind of works both ways in a sense.
But again, that highlights the fact they play different positions, though, doesn't it? Because you could look at this from an England perspective, and you could easily say the exact same two things about, say, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, because Harry Kane is a more one-dimensional striker because that's his role in the team. That's his job. That's what he does. And Bellingham he is that more link-up play. He's the 10. He's the engine. He's the excitement. He does the bits and links it all together and plays the balls through, and obviously set up the second goal in the last game, what have you. So I think it's always important to have that level of context in that just because they've been at the top and the pinnacle of the sport for so long, they don't play the same position, so you can't judge them completely the same way because you are judging a 10 versus a striker.
Disagree with you slightly though, because Messi technically started out on the right wing and Ronaldo was on the left wing, and they've both transitioned into the middle. I know they now play two different roles, but they were playing similar roles prior, so they both come from the same background of sorts, and then transitioned into different positions due to their unwavering ability.
Due to their skill sets at the end of the day.
So,
but again, that's part of the difference in that Messi, I would say, whilst obviously when he was younger, he was very, very quick, but his actual most dangerous attributes, you couldn't get the ball off him. It was his footwork. It's the fact you couldn't tackle him, and he's not lost that. Whereas Ronaldo's best two attributes really was his pace initially, and obviously any player that's been effective because of their pace, they have to change their position and their game as the pace starts to go. You look at anyone like Ryan Giggs ended up being a central midfielder, and obviously he burst onto the scene as a 17-year-old flying winger. Gareth Bale was another one. Like, his pace was absolutely electric, but again, once his pace started to go, nowhere near as effective. So again,
how old is Ronaldo?
41.
I mean, when you get into that age, you've got to change your
body age of like 26.
His metabolic age is probably
the same
like 14.
age as me,
It's ridiculous.
and I've got the body age of him. So I am Ronaldo
in reverse.
and I've got the worst end of the stick.
Yeah, I still think, and this might be a nice place to sort of begin to round things off, but I still think my favourite comment with regards to Ronaldo is Ian Holloway, when Ronaldo was at United and in his pomp, and he was like, he's good looking, he's fast, he scores goals, he's effective, he's got everything going for him. My only hope is that he's hung like a hamster. And then he went on to say that he had a hamster that had massive bollocks. So knowing his, like, Ronaldo's got massive bollocks too. And I thought it was one of the best interviews I've ever seen from what was a Premier League manager at the time, talking about how his I think it was when he was at Blackpool, how his team couldn't cope with Ronaldo. And I thought it was absolutely...
There's some way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't get that anymore. They were the days.
Those were the days. And you could have... Obviously, you couldn't have, because he lost it. He did lose his job because of it and got in a lot of trouble. But you had Alan Pardew on the BBC referring... And that was at a World Cup as well, referring to... I can't remember which French player it was who managed to weave through a few people and make them look a little bit stupid, and Pardew just said on analysis on live TV, absolutely raped him. Which was, again, one of the best things I've ever seen on TV. He's not allowed back on the BBC, unfortunately, and I think that's a shame. They should maybe do... So at Christmas they used to do the alternative Christmas speech. Like, one year it was Ozzy Osbourne. I feel like at World Cups they should do alternative commentary and punditry, and they should bring back the people that aren't fit for live TV. Particularly now, all the games are after the watershed anyway, so like bring back the likes of Pardew and just be like, you've got carte blanche, just fucking go. Or
half an hour, just go at it.
You've got Kate Blanchett, go and say whatever you want.
Andy Gray,
get them all on. Just
everyone.
Just let them go at it, because there'll be a whole age group of men watching that who will absolutely love it, because it will take them back to what they would refer to as simpler times, where they could be racist and sexist and get away with it.
What's getting more views? The normal punditry or the alternative?
Put it this way, I don't want to listen to Lee Dixon anymore.
No. Or someone speaking on a chalkboard.
Oh, and because Lee Dixon is the most boring man in the world. How he's still got a job doing commentary is beyond me. Again, in the England game, they were talking about the pitch that hadn't knitted together properly, and they just I forget the Sam Matterface other commentary, and he was like, they did some testing with the wall to see if it was rolling true, and they seemed like it was okay. And Lee Dixon goes off on this tangent about who did the testing, whether it was an analyst or a player or an ex-player, or if it was a man in a blazer, and he's just rambling on. And I'm like, somebody just like put him in a nursing home. It just sounds like he's gone senile. And what a wonderful way to round things off. So what's our predictions for the knockouts? We've got, obviously, England have got Congo. How are we feeling?
I think we beat Congo. I don't think it's going to be straightforward again.
No, I feel like it's another team that are going to probably want to play transitional football, and we will probably offer up some chances in that game.
I think we're going to extra time.
Wow. The thing is, I can see that happening on the basis that if they do play on transition and they are, if they take their chances in the same way Croatia did, there's every possibility that it finishes 2-2 at the end of normal time.
Do you think now it's a knockout, the mindset sort of shifts?
I really hope
For
so.
Congo, they'd fancy themselves at penalties.
Yeah.
I reckon.
See that as a result.
Yeah, they would happily knock out a big boy in penalty shootout because
It's
they're not going
their-
to beat us like really in open play.
It's like their first foray into the knockouts for like 53 years or something ridiculous, or 54 years or something mad, isn't it?
Wan-Bissaka plays for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of players at this World Cup that could have and should have played for England.
Elise, Haaland, Semenyo.
Wan-Bissaka, I mean, I'd have him at right back at the moment,
Absolutely.
based on the fact that
We've got none.
we haven't got anyone.
Is Reece James back for the 32?
I think he's out still.
Yeah, I don't know. They were a bit like non-committal, weren't they, in terms of the state of his injury? I mean, Tuchel seemed to hint as though it was just the one game, but who knows?
He's got such glass
knows?
legs.
That's the problem. Again, it's like a great player, but he does spend a lot of time injured, and it's such a risk when you haven't got quality to back that up. Like if we took two exceptional right backs to the World Cup and he gets injured, you go, do you know what, it's all right. We've got whoever it is coming in.
Which
They'll
is
be
the same
absolutely-
Livramento got
Well, yeah.
injured, because that's just heartbreaking. I thought that this was his time to kind of burst onto the scene, as it were.
Yeah.
But no.
Sadly not. So you think England extra time? You think get it done in 90?
Yeah, I'll go 2-1.
I'm very much in the naivety of it's coming home and the nostalgia of 96. So I think we're going to win that game 3-0
I think we'll win 3-0 in
yeah.
extra time.
in extra time. Oh, okay. I like it. Do we think there's going to be any shocks, any surprises, any teams going out that we didn't expect to?
Yes.
Who?
Not quite sure.
I think Germany will go out.
Who they got?
No idea, but I just don't think they've been good enough.
This is why I said surprises, because I didn't
Yeah.
know they met each other.
The surprise is that we don't know who they're
They're
playing.
great at podcasts.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
research.
We said it on
games.
we said it on episode 1. If you're expecting us to know people's names and where they come from, like it's not for you. We're here just to chat shit. Yeah, I think Germany will go out. I can see that happening. I can see Mexico going far in this competition. I think they'll do a good job.
Who's USA got?
I don't know, but I hope they get fucking battered.
I hope they got Iran. You'd love to watch that game. I'd stay up and watch that game.
Perhaps use that for the alternative punditry as well.
That would be a great one for the
That's
alternative
start of World War
punditry.
3 right there.
Mm.
Just in that game, 90 minutes of pure chaos, leading to 90 years of ruin.
Well, when you put it like that, I kind of, in a way, hope they don't have Iran in the next round. But
Yeah, but we live in the moment.
we
Dead
do.
anyway.
We
so,
do.
You know.
But yeah, so that's my back to predictions. I think Germany will go out. I think Mexico will go far. I'm intrigued to see what happened with Canada. They've been a surprise package so far, so it'd be interesting to see whether they can.
tonight? Canada?
They're
South
not-
Africa
Yeah,
tonight?
South Africa, Canada.
Yeah.
yeah.
Tricky one, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
Canada
is-
are going to spank them.
I think South Africa have underwhelmed. I'm surprised that they've got through.
First time ever.
Just terrible.
Yeah,
Was it first time
First
ever?
one ever for
Wow.
South Africa.
yeah.
That just proves how bad their group was, because South Korea were honk.
They
They
were
terrible.
not good.
Have you seen what they've done for their broadcasting over in South Korea? They blurred out the manager when he's doing a press conference because it's their political agenda or something like that, to say that he's done a really shit job.
That's
I haven't watched
interesting.
many of the games, but I know that.
well, and that's why you're on the podcast, because I didn't know that. So look at that, adding something to it. What you bring to the party, mate? Apart from devilish good looks and a
Also,
really
you've
nice
done a
big
bit of
throat
throat
shirt.
Third
Yeah.
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 Company.
Oh well, that's
You
That's
bring
nice.
Vincent Company.
bringing a bit of
You
Vincent.
could be a good guess as well.
Yeah,
All three of us and Vincent Company.
yeah. I mean,
Forgotten fruit?
yeah, we can fit another
Wow,
stall
we're
in.
meant to have 4 people, so there's more than enough.
Yeah, we'll find a way.
Push it back a bit.
Yeah, we'll find a way. But yeah, I think that's a good place to round off. So we will be back, obviously, after the first round of knockouts for the next episode. It could be the 2 of us. It could be the 3 of us. It could be 4 or 5. Who knows? It all depends on basically
Have
whether...
to stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, it just depends on whether Jack and Harry are actually, committed enough to not be doing things like seeing Take That.
Yeah, and committing to their work life.
Yeah.
God.
Absolute fucking joke. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we will see you on the next episode.